Hey guys, welcome to another Mully video log. Today we're going to be doing it on Ahri in mid lane, and it looks like we're going to be going up against Anivia. Okay, so first and foremost, this skin. If you don't have this skin when you play Ahri, you're not a human being. This skin is required. Okay, now on to the important stuff. Sorry, less important stuff. With Ahri, I like to start boots in 3 pots. I just like to start boots in 3 pots almost everywhere I go. It's pretty standard. As far as masteries go, I take the standard offensive AP masteries. 3 points in attack damage and offense tree, and then all the right side ability power mastery points. Then I take 9 points in utility tree for mana regen, movement speed, and increased buff duration. For runes, I like to run Magic Penetration Reds, which are pretty standard on every AP mid. AP Quints, mana regen yellows, and ability power per level blues. Some people like to run movement speed quints on mids, and I've done like 2 ability power quints and 1 movement speed quint. But when it comes to Ahri, I just like to do as much damage as possible. So it looks like our Shyvana is starting red, so we're gonna help her out with these.
Don't hold back.
And then probably reshred from there. I'm going to be a little bit low on mana, but it's important to give your jungler a good leash, and you should always do that as a mid player.
Let's have some real fun.
Alright, so against Anivia, we can be harassed pretty well, and I don't have magic resist blues, so we will be taking a lot of damage, but once we get to level 6, we can probably kill her pretty easily. That's what we're going to look to do, most likely. But for now, at the beginning of the game, you just want to farm.
How tempting.
Because it's hard to outfarm Anivia late game, so you want to try and do your best early.
I know what they desire.
And I'm doing a pretty awful job right now.
Tell me a secret.
So used to playing AD carry, it's a lot easier to CS. Anivia has a really long attack range, so you take a lot of harass from her early, which kind of sucks, but it's just kind of what happens. So we didn't hit her with that, which is unfortunate, but yep, that hurts. Alright, so yeah, basically against Anivia, the biggest part that you need to focus on is not getting hit by her little snowball she throws out, which is her Q.
I know what they desire.
She backed out of that one.
How tempting.
Yep, so I just got hit by the Q again, and that's just really bad on my part. I'm just trying to harass her instead of just focusing on CS, which you really shouldn't do against Anivia early. So now you know what not to do, so now let's see if I can show you what you're supposed to do.
Don't hold back.
So now we're just going to have to go back in lane and play really passive because we're going to be behind now. If we can get some sort of advantage, our Ignite is up and hers is down, so that's good.
Don't you trust me?
She's freezing the lane though, so.
Shall we? Indulge me.
She's a level up on me, so we gotta have to farm with our abilities more than our auto attacks. If we move in too close, we'll just die.
Shall
Don't really want this to get to our tower.
Tell me a secret.
Alright, so we
I
see Xin
know
Zhao at the
your
top of the map right there going
desire.
top. So we don't have to be afraid of the jungler for the moment.
Don't you trust me? Don't hold back.
Alright, she's back. We caught up with her some, so we're not as far behind as we were, which is always good.
How tempting.
We're just
Indulgence.
gonna keep trying to effectively CS. We're actually not too far behind in CS, which is good.
How tempting.
At level 6 we can look to trade with her and possibly kill her, since we have Ignite. So we are level 6.
Ally has been slain.
Alright, so we could have killed her right there, but Xin Zhao came in. So now we're just gonna kinda sit back and hope we're okay.
Tell me a secret.
Xin Zhao's probably looking to come back in. So we don't want to get too aggressive.
Indulgence.
We don't want this to get to our tower, so we're going to use an ability on it.
No one will stand in my way.
Our attacks really don't do a lot of damage because we haven't leveled up very much and we don't have any items, so it's kind of hard to wave clear right now.
Don't hold back.
But that's just from our mistake at the beginning. We're just going to keep trying to out-farm and wait till our ult's back up and then try and trade again. And hopefully Xin Zhao won't show up this time.
Shall we?
Okay, we're pushed up a little bit, and so you always want to wait until your lane is fairly pushed up before you go back, because you don't want to lose any XP to your tower. And since Xin Zhao's a really strong jungler, I'm going to go ahead and buy these early 2 wards to ward my jungle so I don't get caught off from that. Because if my ult and flash are ever down, it's almost 100% kill for them because of how much CC they have. I like to get Hextech Revolver as soon as possible. Normally you want to get Doran's Rings, but since I had enough gold to get it on my first back, I went ahead and got it. I'll probably still build Doran Rings after this, but because of Ahri's passive that gives her
I know.
a Spell Vamp, the Hextech Revolver is good because it just increases that.
An ally has been slain.
Hopefully while Anivia's gone, she doesn't get any kills. If she doesn't, then we'll be really far ahead. So we're gonna go ahead and go ward, since the lane is pushed and we have time.
Don't hold back.
Alright, it looks like she had to get her blue herself, so she's gonna be really hurt. So we can definitely look to trade right now. Oh yeah, we did a lot of damage. We can definitely trade. Alright, so we have the advantage right now because of how weak she is. She's dead. Alright, so I completely forgot about the egg, but luckily my Ignite was still up, so I was able to get off enough damage to finish her off. And now, all the work she did at the beginning to kill us is completely negated now. We got her blue buff, and Nivea without blue is pretty useless, and we are easily back in this game. So now we can look to push this wave, and then go back and get even farther ahead in items.
Don't hold back.
Alright, so that's all we can buy for now, just one Doran's ring, which is fine. Like I said, we'll still be ahead in items. She'll have tier 2 boots, but because of our ult, that's not a problem. Anivia's really slow. And I'm not sure if she's running movement speed quints. A lot of Anivia players like to, but I don't think she is. So.
How tempting. They've exhausted their youth.
Alright, so we're gonna go refresh our blue buff. Oh, Anivia decided to steal it. We hit her with the charm. I'm not sure if the Q hit her or not. Oh, she got dominated. Okay, that was just skill shot positioning. That was just really lucky for the most part. I don't want to credit all skill towards that because it was a lot of luck, but did a really good job. Oh, Xin Zhao's still here. We might actually be able to kill him. Alright, Shyvana got it. I didn't get the assist. I wasted flash to try and get it, but it's not a big deal. I was just there to secure the kill in case he got away. Alright, so we've got another fresh blue buff. And now we can look to roam because we're really far ahead in our lane. And we're winning in CS by 14. So we can look to roam if we get the chance. So now I'm just going to try and push as much as possible. So I can help out my other lanes. That's really important when you're playing mid, is to help out your other lanes.
Don't you trust me?
Alright, I guess I forgot to talk about Ahri's abilities, so we can go ahead and talk about those. Her Q is that orb you see me throw out. That one right there. It's probably her most damage dealing ability. It does true damage on the way back and normal damage on the way out. Her W puts these little fireballs around her and makes them go out in random directions towards the nearest enemy.
I know what
They do quite a lot of damage. Her E is a charm. It brings the enemy that you hit towards you, and it's basically a very nice CC. And her ult is it's a dash around that you can cast 3 times that also does damage. Her kit makes her really mobile. It's does a lot of damage, and it just makes it easy to trade with opponents.
they're mine now.
So Anivia got a blue again, which Anivia with blue is always scary, but since we're so far ahead, it's not really that big of a deal. We can still probably out trade.
Don't you trust me?
So we missed the big one there, which is... So we got a lot of damage out right there, which is good. See, that's one of the good things about playing Ahri mid, is you can get away from ganks like that. Even with how much CC they have, because of my ult I was able to get away and not really take that much damage. I did have to waste my ult, so that's less killing potential I have, but being safe is always better than getting kills. So we're going to go back, we're going to look to get our boots. Actually, probably just go ahead and get a needlessly large rod since we're so far ahead. Normally I like to start with a Rylai's or Abyssal Scepter.
I know.
Abyssal Scepter, if you're going against a difficult lane that puts out a lot of damage, the magic resistance is really good for that. And Rylai's is just a good first starting item overall because it gives you so much health. But since we're so far ahead, I think we can go ahead and skip the boots and kind of go straight for a Rabadon's so we can do more damage. The only time you ever delay boots is when you're winning pretty badly. And right now, we have a pretty nice lead, so we can afford it.
An ally has been slain.
Don't hold back.
Alright, we forced her out of lane, which we can continue to keep doing as much as we want. because of how much damage we do. That was my friend calling me. Apologize.
Sorry.
I'll have to answer that later. He's probably going to call back a few more times, so I apologize for that being in the video, but can't really stop in the middle. So Nivea just keeps pushing the lane towards me, which is perfectly fine with me.
They've exhausted their use.
We could probably look to kill her right now, but
Don't hold
I'm just
back.
not sure it's the best idea at the moment. The important thing is we're keeping her out of the lane, keeping her from CSing.
I know what they desire. Tell me a secret.
So it looks like the other team is trying to dragon. Yeah.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
How tempting.
So they were waiting. We can't really go back in because we took too much damage from that. So, not really sure. Yeah, we're just gonna have to go back. So that was just really my team's fault for not having a ward. I guess I probably should ward mid more, but there's nothing I can really do about that right now.
Don't
We're not
you
going to buy anything,
trust
we're just
me?
going to heal. So I'm going to look to finish my boots next because it's about the time to where I really need tier 2 boots just for speed reasons. Oh, I like to max Q first on Ahri because it enables you to safely farm, it does a lot of damage, and it's really good against Anivia because of how far back she can play. Another viable option to max first is your W, because against enemy champions that have to get really close to do damage, W is guaranteed damage that prioritizes champions. So it's good to max that first against things like Cassidon or Fizz or something like that. But against most of the time I like to max Q.
Don't hold back.
Because you can farm waves extremely effectively with Q. Alright, so Shyvana is not helping me out getting blue, and it's been sitting here for a while, so I'm going to try and get it myself. Oh, it looks like Olaf's going to help. What a nice guy. This Olaf's a beast. He's my best friend. Alright, so we got blue.
I know what they desire.
I'm watching the mini-map for my team since I'm not in any hard engagements right now. It's always one thing you want to pay attention to is when you're not at a point where you have to focus really hard, it's always good to watch the mini-map for your teammates and try and just ping and let them know what's going on.
Shall we? Tell me a secret.
Alright, I'm done fooling around there. Alright, looks like Anivia is going to get her blue. So we're going to try and stop it if we can. Yeah, we can actually probably kill her right here. If we get a chance.
Double kill.
Alright, I think I may have went a little too deep there, but at least I set up my team to get the kills, and that's what's important. As long as he can DPS the egg. Yeah, he's got that. Alright, so we got a kill, and we got some assists, and we set up the rest of the kills for our team. So overall, that was a really good engagement. Alright, and we're that much closer to our Rabadons. So I probably could have positioned that a little bit better with my ultimates, but overall we got the outcome we wanted. It just cost me one more death because I didn't do it well enough. So even though we got a shaky start, we're still pretty well into the game. We're winning by 21 farm, which is a pretty nice lead. It's not the best lead, but it's still a lead. And we're even in kills. But we do a lot more damage than Anivia. So as long as we keep roaming and using our ultimate to help out the rest of our team, then they'll be more ahead of their lanes, and we should be able to win the game that
How
way.
tempting.
So my ult is already back up, and that's one of my favorite things about Ahri is her ult is on such a short cooldown, and then she can be really abused with how short the
I
cooldown
know
is.
what they desire.
It's always nice. I did lose my fresh blue buff there, which is not really a good thing, but like I said, overall, I think
Don't hold
we
back.
won the trade. So yeah, we're just trying to trade back and forth. She has a higher mana pool than I do, so this is probably not good for me,
Don't you
but
trust
we can't
me?
just let her poke for free. So he seasons out here, but I don't think he's going to try anything. He can't kill me with my ultimate up because he has no ranged abilities.
No one will stand in
So
my
we're just going to sit
way.
here and farm. Missed that one. So Nivea's just going to keep doing that and roaming, which is one really good thing about Anivia, but not only, when I lost my blue buff, she did too, and Anivia is very, very blue buff reliant. So that
How
was,
tempting.
overall it was better for us.
Don't you trust me?
So we do enough damage to clear out a creep wave in 1 Q, which makes it easy for us to farm and then roam, kind of like what Anivia is trying to
Don't
do.
hold back.
But Anivia doesn't have blue buff, so it's much harder for her to do so. We have a level up on Anivia, so anytime her cooldowns are down, like if she tries to use an ability on me and misses, I can look to go in
Shall
on her.
we?
Kinda like that.
I know what
So, see, it's kind of hard to charm Anivia because she can play so far back, but all we can really do is try and keep up with her and farm, and deny her blue
they desire.
buffs.
Tell me a secret.
That's just kind of the trick to playing against Anivia. Just keep her away from blue buffs. And I'm not sure how I did get that one, but...
Shall we?
Alright, since we can't really do anything to Anivia, I'm going to try and gank another lane. Try and help this Olaf get farther ahead, because I know he's having a hard lane against that Teemo.
Your turret
So
has been
hopefully
destroyed.
we can kill Teemo.
Don't hold back.
An ally has been slain.
Indulge me.
It's very hard to catch Teemo, but hopefully with Shyvana there we'll be able to do it. Just have to wait and see. Yeah, no, he's gonna get away. Wow. She just pretty much wasted her ultimate.
An ally
That was
has
just
been
really
slain.
bad on the Shyvana's part. So since our jungler's not around to help us get blue, we're just gonna do it
I know
ourselves.
what they desire.
And I don't know why it's resetting.
Don't you trust me?
Okay, since we probably got a little bit far behind in farm because we tried to gank and nothing came out of it, I'm just gonna take these wolves, go farm up mid lane, and then look to go
How
by.
tempting.
So we haven't made very much use of our advantage that we've had.
An ally has been
Everyone just keeps
slain.
dying. It's really depressing. But there's not much we can do. So we're gonna look back and go get our death cap. And like I said earlier, normally I like to build Rylai's or Abyssal Scepter first, but since we're ahead in this case, we went ahead and went for Rabadons. It was too late to turn back now. I think Abyssal Scepter will be good next because it'll help us stay in lane with Anivia more, and Teemo does quite a bit of magic damage,
Don't hold back.
and those are the two lanes that are winning right now, so our bottom's pretty even. So yeah, we're just gonna look to get some magic resist, and that'll help us out against a majority of their damage. So we're still winning by about 20 CS, which is good, especially against Anivia. If you can ever beat Anivia in farm, you're doing well because Anivia just is such a great farmer with her ultimate. So maybe we can take down this tower, which would be really nice since we're ahead in CS.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
she's got to back up so we can look do dragon here, since we're all 5 down on the bottom side of the map. Hopefully, even if they do show up, we'll be able to win the team fight.
Tell me a secret.
So the other team is just doing a really good job with ward coverage, and that's why we can't really catch them,
Shall we?
which is unfortunate, but that's what we have to deal with. That's what wards are there for. Yeah, we're not going to be able to kill that Teemo, he's too fast. Olaf needs to
I
stop trying to
know
fight him,
what
though.
they desire. How
Ah,
tempting.
almost got her. Alright, so she has a blue buff, so we don't need to waste too many of our spells. She can really just sit here and farm safely, which is kind of annoying, but it's not really that big of a deal. Alright, an important thing to learn is mid lane. This is kind of an advanced tactic, but when the creep wave has aggro onto you, you can pull it over here to the side, that way it won't go to the tower, and that way you won't miss any CS. So Nivea's in our jungle, so I think I'm going to look and try to cut her off there, because we can definitely
I
beat her in a
know
1v1.
what they desire.
I don't know, Xin Zhao's too close. I'm too scared.
An enemy has been slain.
How
An
tempting.
enemy has been slain.
Okay, so our bot lane is doing really well.
Don't
Your
you
team
trust
has
me?
destroyed a tower.
Alright, we're getting lots of good damage off on Anivia.
Enemy killing.
Intelligently.
Alright, so we got rid of her egg. We weren't able to kill her. So it's no big deal. It's not the outcome we wanted, but she at least doesn't have an egg now.
Tell me a secret.
Enemy rampage.
So Teemo's on a rampage.
Shut down.
Finally shut him down, which is good. I don't have enough mana to really defend this, but I'm going to do my best without dying.
How tempting.
Alright, so we can look to go back and go towards our Abyssal Scepter. Because Teemo is he's getting quite fed and he does the majority magic damage, so.
Tell me a secret.
Your turret has been destroyed.
And Anivia is still getting farmed because she can just farm so well, so. But now we're up by 21 CS still. So we're keeping our lead, which is
Don't
always
hold
good against
back.
Anivia, as I've said before. This revolver will eventually be built into a Woda, but since we do not have double AP on our team, I'm not going to rush it. You only want to get that as your second or third item if you have double AP on your team. If not, you can save it for last. It doesn't really matter.
I know what they desire.
Ahri is pretty good at taking wraiths. You can just do that right there through the wall. And if you don't have an Olaf that takes it from you and you're clearly using your mana to get it, then you can usually get the wraiths pretty easily.
Intelligently.
We haven't had a blue buff in a while, which is really hurts on Ahri. She's very reliant on abilities, and so therefore very reliant on mana. That's why I run mana regen yellows on her.
I know what they desire.
So it's always nice for your jungler to give you blue buff, but if they don't give it to you, you can't really stop them. And also, we don't have very much map control, so it's
Don't
really
hold
hard for us
back.
to hit it. So we're gonna move up and try to kill this Teemo, because even though he is fast, if we can get far enough behind him, we can look to kill him. I think he saw me with a mushroom though, so I don't think yeah, we're not gonna be able to get to him. So I was planning to push top there to just to not give Teemo that side of the map, but Anivia's pushing my tower, so I've gotta try and go save that. We could probably kill her right here if she doesn't go back.
Your turret has been destroyed.
We're not fast enough to catch up to her. There's no problem. It looks like her blue buff is up and she's gonna try and grab it, so we're gonna try and take it.
Don't you trust me?
I had to waste our ult to get out of that. Which kinda sucks, but they just have much better ward coverage than we do. It's hard to roam when a team wards so well.
I know what they desire.
Yeah, doing a team fight right now is really not a good idea because I'm so low on mana without a blue buff, so it's gonna be really hard for us to do anything.
Don't hold back.
Or for me to do anything at least. And since Urgot is our AD carry, then I'm a huge source of the damage. Yeah, so they have too much coverage for us to be able to move in on that.
How tempting.
So this game is not looking too promising, just because of how much better their team comp is than ours. But we're just going to do what we can and hope for the best. So now we're going to look to get Abyssal Scepter. And probably Rylai's next, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, probably going to look to get Rylai's next. So I can go up and fill up this last spot with... No, I'm going to save up for a better item. I'm going to save up for the Giant's Belt, just so I can have that extra tankiness. Because you always... the reason Ahri builds tanky is because when you go into team fights with her, with your ultimate, you kind of have to be all up in their face. And with your W, so you need to be tanky in order to get up close and personal with the other team. So that's why building tanky on Ahri is kind of a must. So I am kind of wasting too many spells on CS, but just with how volatile this game has been and how much roaming has been going on between both teams, I feel like I need to sit in lane the least amount possible so I can roam around and help my team.
Intelligent.
Because even though I only have 3 kills, I'm still a main source of the damage because of how farmed I am. And we don't really have a proper AD carry. We have Urgot, who's more utility than actual damage.
How tempting.
So I'm just trying to clear the waves as fast as possible. So I thought Zen was going to kind of go ahead and walk all the way around, and so I was trying to lead the charm, but he turned around. So that was good on his part. Alright, we hit the charm on Sona, so we can get really good damage out on her. Alright, so we forced her flash, so that's a small victory for us. So now when we go in, we know that Sona can't flash away.
Don't you trust me? I know what they desire.
It's really hard for us to engage just because of how much utility they have between Teemo and Anivia and Sona. So we're just going to have to hope for a lucky break.
Don't you trust me?
Because we can't just really force the fight on them. gotta hope I can hit a nice charm,
Shall we?
or Olaf can hit a nice axe, or something like that. Well, that's... I thought someone's ult was down. I went back in just to try and help my team get away. So it's not really a big deal, but like I said, they just have a much better team fighting team than we have. I probably should have just kept running, but I'm just not used to Teemo being so tanky. So that didn't work out as quite as well as we planned, but I kind of expected it to go that way with how the rest of the game's been going. Sivir also did quite a lot of damage that I was not expecting. Now that I have this giant spell though, never underestimated how this guy's good. Yeah, if someone, a lot of people say Teemo's a bad champion, but if you can play him well enough, especially if you get a nice lane, he can be pretty useful, especially with how tanky that Teemo is.
Your turret has been destroyed.
So we're gonna look to build Rylai's and then probably a Void Staff, assuming that some of them are probably getting magic resist by now. And then we'll finish our Woda last, and that'll be full build. That's usually the way I like to go on Ahri. You can also get Deathfire Grasp. It's a really good item on her for the cooldown reduction. But I just feel that the tankiness is a little bit more important. Especially when you get one of those games like this where it's hard to rely on your team. But positioning is a really important thing when playing Ahri, and that's something that I haven't demonstrated very well this game, but always be wary of your positions, because it's... With Ahri, that's how it is. Because once you use all your abilities, you're kind of useless for a minute, so... You gotta make sure you're in position to not die. So if they don't back up, we can look to kill this pretty easily here. Yep. So we got that. Sivir's probably way too fast for us to catch. So we can probably just look to push mid. Since we have an advantage. Probably should get this for Urgot. Shyvana smited it. She probably shouldn't have done that, but... Usually you want to let your AD carries get the red buff. Because they're ranged and they can get that slow out easier than melee champions can. So I still haven't gotten a blue buff in a while, which really sucks, but... I wasn't able to get the egg. See, no one tried to focus the egg except me. We should have been able to get that. But we weren't able to. It looks like, yeah, Olaf's gonna die to Teemo. Oh well. So that wasn't a horrible fight, but it still wasn't what we needed. So that Anivia egg is just easily one of the best passes in the game. Because I got to her and was able to kill her, and then I was able to get the egg 90% down, but just wasn't able to finish it. So pretty much everything I did was a waste. And I was hoping at least someone would hit the egg a little bit, but no one was able to with me. And that last Q just didn't push it over the edge. But you kind of get the idea of what you want to do with Ahri. You want to just hit a charm, and then I had to use my ult for damage right there because of the egg. If it wasn't for the egg, I would have saved it and used it as more of a getaway and reposition, but I had to use it for damage there to try and get the egg down. Which didn't work exactly how I wanted it to. So Urgot is building pretty wrong. You don't get a Phantom Dancer on Urgot. That's just not good. If he was building how he should be, we might have a better chance, but he's just really not, so... That'll be for a future video, I'm sure. A future Mully video guide on Urgot. That'll probably be a while though, because I'm not a huge fan of Urgot. Hope I can finish this blue buff before the other team comes, but my team is And Olaf took it from me. Wow. I don't even know what to say.
I know what they desire.
That's just really, really unfortunate. Ahri is just really needs blue buff. Even with mana regen yellows. As much as you have, as reliant as you are on abilities, blue buff is really, really necessary. But that's just people being selfish, and you can't help that. So now they're able to do Baron, and there's not much we can do about it. So we're just kind of waiting for this game to end. There's not much we can do anymore. They're most likely just gonna push and win.
Don't you trust me?
So I was looking to try and get a charm there, but their Shirelias made it to where they were way too fast for me to get away. So my plan kind of backfired on me, but thank goodness I didn't die. I just had to waste some abilities. That was
Don't
really
hold
close.
back.
Okay, so we don't have our ultimate anymore because our plan didn't work, but at least we didn't die. That's the important thing.
Tell me a secret.
I was hoping to charm one and then be able to Q the whole team so they would be really weak coming to fight us, but that Shirelia's just kind of caught me off guard.
How tempting.
Alright, so we were able to get a charm off. Yeah, we get another charm off. We just don't do very much damage. Sona's ult is already back up? That's kind of ridiculous. She just ulted me when I was right there. Well, I just didn't expect that. I really did not expect her ultimate to be up that soon. But yeah, they're just... We held in the fight for a really long time, but they're just so tanky all around that we just can't do enough damage to kill them. I mean, even Sona has tons of items. Teemo's super tanky. Xin Zhao super tanky, but there's just not much we can really do. So, since we're probably gonna... Normally you would never do something like this, but I'm going to sell this to get a Void Staff, because our only chance is to just kill people. Tankiness is over. I just need to combat their tankiness, so I'm gonna get the Void Staff and try and do something with it. Normally you never want to sell your items like that. If this was any closer, I would never do that, but since we're most likely gonna lose, this is just kind of like a last desperation attempt.
Shall we?
So now we just kind of farm and wait for them to push again and see if we can win a team fight. And if we can't win the next team fight, it's probably over. But maybe we can win it and turn things around. I've seen it before.
They've exhausted their use.
Oh no, I missed it. Oh well. I'm pretty far out right now, but I'm hoping that they're far away to the point where I'm safe. But saying that to myself now, I'm kind of scared, so I'm gonna go ahead and walk back. So really the only thing we can do now is try and defend and hope that we can win one last team fight. This is not what we need to do. This is horrible. She's not gonna kill him, and she had to waste her ultimate just to get away. That is not what we needed at all.
Tempting.
Sorry for the camera jerk there. Alright, so yeah, basically we just gotta sit at our double Nexus towers and hope for them to dive and get greedy so we can maybe win a team fight. That's really our only option at this point.
Don't hold back.
Alright, so we hit our charm on Sivir. Yeah, they're just way too tanky for us to do anything. We got a perfect initiation. We got our charm out on Sivir, which is exactly who we want to charm. They're just way too strong for us to do anything. So we're doing everything right. It's just we just can't get it to work out the way it needs to because they're so far ahead. So now they're just most likely gonna push and win. Yeah, like I said, the last two items here would have been a Rylai's and a Will of the Ancients. And yeah, pretty much that's what you do as Ahri. You just try and catch someone off guard with a charm, and hopefully you have a more decent champion composition than I have this game, so we can actually do some damage. Yeah, that's going to be it for this game. As always, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully now you kind of have a better understanding of how to play Ahri in the mid lane. And feel free to leave your feedback in the comments below or any website this video is posted on. And check back for more videos. Alright, see you guys next time.